Hello everybody, my name is Alyssa Cooper and we are cooking in quarantine. This is our Christmas edition. I feel like I might need the headband that is my glasses today, so I'll be a crazy lady with more than one pair of glasses on. So here's what we're doing today. First of all, I got up this morning, I had some mushrooms that were a little gone, so they're not going to be okay to use for my duxelle tomorrow. So I got up, I had a little bit of mirepoix that was ready to be used, some celery that was near the center, so I just put it all on the mandolin, put butter in here and cooked it low and slow with the butter. I have in here salt, pepper, chili flakes, a couple of bay leaves. Well, when I got up and started it this morning, I realized, holy cow, I don't have any time, and time is central to this for me. So I went out to the store because I had a few things that I needed to find, and I can't see much out of these today, so let's see if I can see much out of these today. That's much better. So anyway, that's all ready to go. I was just going to get a piece of twine here, and I hope that my twine is easily handy. I try to keep it here so that I can just reach in my cupboard, grab the piece of twine, grab some scissors, and bada bing. I'm ready to tie anything up in the kitchen. It's back in a corner between where there's, what am I trying to say, like Tupperware and pans. So I have it wedged down in there, and so it can't move out of the space. And I can just pull it right through. So now this is strange thyme. This is a strange brand of thyme. It's not what we normally get at my store, but you know, times are weird, and that is true. Now, for all of you out there who I know I just know so many people who have lost family members in the last couple of days, and it breaks my heart. You know, normally I'd be in Stanford, or Danville to be precise, right about now. Or not right about now. Now, I would have this morning gotten up and made breakfast for my aunt and uncle and anybody else who stopped by. And if it was a normal year, I probably would have invited half a dozen of my childhood girlfriends, most of whom I still talk to on a daily basis. Well, for somebody who got up early and did her hair, I guess the wind had took the best of me today. So here's this. I also have this dried out hunk of Parmesan that I'm going to throw in there for flavor. And the only thing now I really need to do is I'm going to puree this soup, but I also need to chop up all of these mushroom caps. But I can't really do that right now because I have over here on my little R2 unit set up all the stuff that I need to prep for making glogg tomorrow. And I realize I should probably pull the camera down just a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing a little better. Oops, that might be a little too much. There we go. And here we go. That seems better. Oh, so much better. So what I'm going to do is for tomorrow, I'm going to make Marcus Samuelsson's glogg. And if you don't know who Marcus Samuelsson is, he is of Ethiopian descent, but was adopted into a Swedish family. He became famous when he was the chef at one of my favorite restaurants, Aquavit, where we served fish in a Scandinavian style. So glogg is a traditional Scandinavian Christmas time beverage. Like we drink here hot toddies because we make a lot of whiskey here in the United States. Anything that's made with grain alcohol is super, super popular at the holidays. I'm sure everybody's had a little honey, lemon, and whiskey at some point in their lives. So what this calls for is 2 sticks of cinnamon, a teaspoon of cardamom pods, a small piece of peeled ginger. Oh my gosh, I forgot the orange zest, but we'll get to that. 6 whole cloves and a half a cup of vodka. However, over here on the other side, it calls for something called vanilla sugar. So I'm like, oh my goodness, vanilla sugar. The reason I'm doing this today is this requires a 24-hour set. And hello, Lisa, my love. I love you, baby. And so it requires that I'm going to get all of these herbs and these, these spices ground up into a vodka that's going to sit overnight, so it's steeping like a vodka tea, right? But one of the ingredients also is vanilla sugar. So I need to make some vanilla sugar. And if I lived in a perfect world, I would have somebody who could run out and get me the orange. I forgot, because I'm pretty sure I don't have an orange hidden over here. No, just an apple. So anyway, it's funny. This, I bought this morning, cardamom pods, vanilla, ginger, and what else did I buy at the grocery? I bought 4 things at the grocery store. I can't remember what, and thyme. And they were $29 because the cardamom pods were $15. And God only knows what the vanilla was, because this wasn't much, and neither was the thyme. So it doesn't even tell me, but I have to use it by July of 2021. So let's start playing with the vanilla. Let's see. I'm not sure if I'm going to figure out how to get in it or out of it. Let's see here. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to need a knife. I probably should have gotten a bigger knife, but I'm going to get a tiny knife. And here we go. And, sorry. Let's get this, see if we can break. I broke the plastic finally. There we go. It's sealed for your protection and ribbed for her pleasure. Ooh, sorry, that was a little vulgar Christmas Eve joke now, wasn't it? Here we go. Now I have down in here what looks to be 2 beautiful and hard to get out of the tube pods of vanilla. I swear I can't believe this. I'm gonna have to, hello. I'm gonna have to get out an unusual tool, I'm afraid, but I'm very glad sometimes that I have them. I probably had these since high school. They're called hemostats, right? It's what they use when they tie off your blood, right? And then they clamp off the thing so you don't bleed all over everything. There you go. I'm glad I had those. Otherwise, I could have been here all day long trying to get it out. All right, here we go. So, I read up on this, and so what it calls for is a pot of sugar, a pot of vanilla, to 2 cups of sugar. Now, I'm not sure I'm gonna ever use, I've never used vanilla sugar before this day, and it's almost Christmas, so how much more Glogg am I gonna drink after tomorrow? So I'm gonna try to make 1 cup of sugar. So it says that you can do this, you can mash all this together with either a whisk or a mortar and pestle, but I have my beloved here, and so I'm going to do it here. So first I'm going to measure out a cup of sugar. Oh, and I meant to turn on a little music today, because that will make things more festive, I think. So let's get to work on that real quickly. So there's my cup of sugar. I love when you open, because I don't buy white sugar, or I don't buy bleached sugar. It always smells good. So let's see what's going on. I have this. I'm going to watch a short video so that we can have 30 minutes of uninterrupted listening on whatever app it is that I'm using to make this come. Let's see if it works. Okay.
Enjoy the next 30 minutes of uninterrupted
Awesome.
listening.
I'm very happy about this. So here we go, guys. I've got my cup of sugar in here, and I'm just going to open this as little as I can, if I can just barely break into this, because I do have 2 pods in here, and I'm not going to use them both right this minute. Oh, there we go. Boy, isn't that odd that I'll be home for Christmas is the first thing that comes up when those of us who want to live are not coming home for Christmas. Okay. I need to open this pod. This is harder than I thought. Maybe I get the fatter one and it'll be easier to work with. And I can use this one to make vanilla. Let's see here. I'm going to be mad if I didn't get a good one. Ah, there we go. Got that opened. And so I want to scrape the goo from inside, right? Y'all know my story about vanilla bean? This goes back easily 30 years ago, 29, 30 years ago, let's be honest. And I worked in a restaurant on 18th Street between 5th and 6th called Prefix. And I had the pleasure of always being the Saturday night smoking section server. And lo and behold, I've just dropped my last 5 checks. I am so close to closing out. And at 10:55 in the evening, I'm seated. A couple, and you can tell that it was passive aggressive because my whole section was almost empty, and we put them in the worst table possible, the banquette next to the kitchen door. And I come up, and they're straight out of Central Casting. You can't even imagine this. He literally is like in a white sharkskin suit with a silk shirt that's unbuttoned down to here, and he's got more hair on his chest than I have on my head, and he's got chains and 4 or 5 rings. And now please, for those of you who have a different sense of style than I do, I believe that a man should wear 1 ring at a time. A gentleman may wear his class ring from college. A gentleman may wear his wedding ring. If he is a professional sports person, he can wear his Super Bowl ring, but only at Super Bowl functions. So multiple rings just rub me the wrong way. Now, mind you, this was the early 90s, and so she was invisible beyond the giant mole claw bangs that was sticking off her otherwise straight, stringy hair and her giant long fingernails. I have rushed them through their, mind you, remember the name of the restaurant is Prefix. That means everyone gets multiple courses. And so I, of course, they choose the 3-course menu. So I've rushed them through. The kitchen hates me. The bartenders hate me. Everybody hates me. Not my fault because I got the last table. But nonetheless, I've pushed them through as fast as possible. I dropped their desserts. I'm standing at the gueridon, closing out my checks, doing the final math of the night, when that big, long fingernail crooks at me to come. And I came over and I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she says to me, "There's Doit in my creme brulee." I said, "Excuse me?" She says, "There's Doit in my creme brulee." She turns it around where I can see where she's taken a bite out of it, and she points into her creme brulee. And I said to her, "I'm sorry, ma'am." I said, "That's not dirt. That's the vanilla bean in your vanilla bean creme brulee." And she looked at me and said, "Don't be ridiculous. Everyone knows vanilla is liquid." I had nothing to do except pick up the creme brulee and walk to the kitchen and laugh my ass off before coming back and giving her another menu to choose something different. That will always be my favorite waiting table story. And y'all, I waited tables in Kentucky and I never had anybody say anything that foolish to me. So anyway, that's my fun thing. I'm not sure that this is the best of all possible vanillas, y'all, because I feel like it's a little drier than it should be for something that came shrink wrapped, but I'm going to get as much of that as I can get out of there because we're making vanilla sugar, right? Get all those beans out of there. But it smells vanilla-y, so that's all that matters. So I'm going to pulse this together if I can get it on. You know, that's always my hard thing for me. Like a crazy person. And then I forget to plug it up. That's my other thing. Here we go. Let's plug her up. Plug Susie up. Susie, what's wrong? Oh, you're not completely closed. There we go. It smells like vanilla. So now what I'm supposed to do is put this into a jar along with these pods. So I have this jar that I've washed out. Now I guess it needs to be dried beyond belief. Here we go. The water smelled a little like TCA. Anybody New Yorkers out there today experiencing the same thing? So I'm supposed to put these pods down in here. I'm gonna see if I can get just a little bit more out of this one. This one looks like it would like to give up some more. Oh, look at that. That's opened up really nicely now. I'm gonna get a lot more bean out of here. There we go. Beautiful. So what I wonder, if anybody's out there talking to me, tell me what you're making for Christmas. I have, as you've seen, I've prepped up that baked brie for some point. We've got some soup that's here for emergency eating. Did I put it? No, I didn't, thank goodness. What that, the little bean pieces can break up a little better than that. All right, so that seems dry, and these guys are supposed to be in there with it because they'll continue to scent it. And here we go. And you know the thing that I'm most afraid of is the blades of my Cuisinart. I am so afraid of them, I can't even tell you. I am the kind of person who, if it's possible, you know I'm gonna cut myself, right? So here we go, I've got my vanilla sugar. And I do over here, somewhere over here, I've got labels that wash off easily. So I'll be able to label this vanilla sugar, so no one will put it in their coffee and be terribly disappointed. Speaking of coffee, I forgot to get Bailey's at the store this morning. Oh well. So here we go. So one of the ingredients in my vodka flavoring is some of this. Let me see. Here's what I have to do. I need to crush the cinnamon and cardamom and put them in a glass jar and add the ginger, orange zest, cloves, and vodka. Okay? So that's first. Let me clean this out because I don't have a mortar and pestle. So honey, if you want to get me something for Christmas, I could use a mortar and pestle. Although Hugo did say to me the other day, isn't getting somebody a pot or a pan kind of like getting your wife a broom? And I said, no, you're looking at that wrong. I would love it if you got me an all-clad or a Le Creuset. I would have no problem with that, right? It's afternoon, and it's a holiday. Here we go. So I'm going to rinse this off real quick and dry this off. I don't know what I'm going to do about the mortar and pestle. I guess I can use a pot. That's what I can do. So let me just put that dangerous piece of equipment over there. What the heck happened? How come the sugar? There's so much sugar here. What do you think? Where do you think that came from? How do you think that I did that? It's not vanilla sugar either. It's just random sugar. I am a mess, man. All right, so here are the little things that we need to get together. Like I said, I forgot to get an orange. I went running through the store like a crazy person this morning. So I'm gonna set the sugar aside. And this jar that I needs a half a cup of vodka and then the other herbs and spices and stuff. So I need to find a jar that is the right size. Looky-loo, I have a whole treasure trove. I grabbed my balls. Here we go. Let me unplug the Cuisinart so I don't pull it too far. And I'm kind of like at a loss because I don't know, I'm just, now that I don't have an orange, I wish I had a fruit lackey, somebody who I could say, oh, I don't seem to have something, and all of a sudden they would just appear at my door with the piece of fruit that's missing. Or if I had enough people in my building watching, saying, oh God, Alyssa, here's your orange that you need. Oh, how much nicer life would be. Oh great, this was a Ziploc bag, and did I cut it? Oh no, I didn't, yay. All right, so here's your little pods, and I might, oh my gosh, the smell of cardamom is so amazing. And so it says a teaspoon of cardamom pods. So let's get us a teaspoon working here. Where's my teaspoon? Now, if you guys haven't had Glogg before, and you may be thinking, why is Alyssa making Glogg? That might be a little too much of a solo. That's better. That way maybe they won't shut me down on YouTube for playing somebody else's music. I'm hoping this is old enough that I'm not trying to profit from this in any way. So there's my, oh, that's a tablespoon, silly girl. Let's try this again. What do you think just happened? Oh, looky Lou. Why, hello, Merry Christmas. Hey, so you're live on TV. Give me 10. Bye. There we go. Now the music is back. And I'm going to measure out the correct number of cardamom pods because that would not be something that we would want to happen. I do need to put it into something. I guess I could put those there and these here. There we go. And then we need 2 sticks of cinnamon. And they need to be kind of smashed, right? So we're going to put those there. And then while we're at it, it calls for 6 whole cloves. And this is driving me crazy because I'm just a little too tall for this. There we go. Oh, much better. Here we go. So here's the cardamom. And we need 6 cloves. Now, we're not supposed to crush the cloves. They don't get crushed with the other 2. So there's 1, 2. Well, it's so funny counting out cloves. Here we go. I'll put them right here, and they'll be, oh, they can go in the jar already, right? Let me make sure this smells like jar. I think all things smell a little like Play-Doh, but there we go. Maybe the vodka will kill it. So there's my 6 cloves. And here are these guys. And I need something that I can't hurt, which would be probably this right here. So let's take this and wipe it clean right into the sink. And then I think I can just smash these guys right here. So if you don't know cardamom, that's what a little cardamom pod looks like. And I think all the heavy pans are in the other room. I'll be right back. You may think, Alyssa, what do you do with heavy pans in the other room? If you're thinking that, you're not aware of how small my apartment is. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my apartment. I have the best small apartment in the world. As a matter of fact, my apartment is so fantastic, it only needs a couple of square feet to be the best small house you'd ever imagine. So, and maybe a slightly larger pad so that you can, uh-oh, I have a cardamom pod that tried to run away. All right. The cinnamon is smashed, the cardamom is not. There we go. I just want to smash them a little so they get opened. And so the yummy goodness inside gets into the vodka. All right, there we go. Excellent. Oh, I don't know where to put this. Here, we'll just put it right down there. No one will know what's there. And now I'm going to put this in my jar. Look at all these little, beautiful little seeds that come out of your cardamom pods. And I think I'm going to do best with a bench scrape so I don't leave anything behind. There we go. Okay, so that's all of that. So now I need to put a little bit of ginger. So I'm going to take this pretty little knob right here. And where did my sharp knife go? Oh, here it is. Fantastic. So I've been thinking, you know, it's a really strange year. There's only been in the 30 years since I moved to New York. There's only been 2 previous Christmases that I didn't go home. That I wasn't home on Christmas Day. Let me rephrase that. There was only 1 Christmas that I didn't go home because there were Kentucky basketball games the next week, starting the next day. And so my whole family left on Christmas Day to come here to watch the University of Kentucky basketball games. And that was just perfectly fine Christmas. I spent it with, I think, my boyfriend at the time. And then there was a year where there were ice storms and they simply couldn't land planes. They couldn't land a plane in Lexington the whole time, to the point that I ended up flying into Cincinnati. My parents picked me up at the Cincinnati airport on Christmas Day, and we pulled in to the farm at 11:59 on Christmas night. Ruined everybody's day, and I feel terrible about it. And you know, I don't really have any Christmas spirit this year, but not like normal, you know. Christmas is for kids, and so I can't be with my niece and nephew, who I love, but I made the decision at my mother's suggestion. I just sent them some Victoria's candy, which they love, not candy, chocolate. And so then when I can go home, it won't be their birthday, it won't be Christmas. We'll just have a nice, lovely little nothing holiday, nothing day for them to be able to tear into and have all kinds of new things. And so, even though it's not going to be the same, we'll make our own fun, right? So, what I've been thinking about a lot is how thankful and grateful I am that we have the possibility of new policies as we come forward, that maybe we can ease the suffering of so many of our fellow Americans. And my biggest prayer is that we all learn to think of others and think about how our actions might impact another person. It's just, these last several months have just broken my heart. And, you know, I, being a New Yorker, am resilient. And so I realized in October that Christmas wasn't going to happen. And literally, as Mom and I were walking down the beach and talking about it, and I said, Christmas isn't going to happen. She's like, oh, don't write it off just yet. We literally walk back in the condo, and her phone pings, and she says, oh, in-person school has just been canceled for the rest of the year in our county. She says, I guess there goes Christmas. And I said, see, there goes Christmas. So, boys and girls, those of you who are being selfish and having big gatherings with people who have not been in your COVID pod all along, let me tell you a little something I learned this morning. When you're indoors with someone who's not in your COVID pod and you're not masked, you know how if you're in your big giant living room, because I assume most of you live in homes that have at least one big room, one big 20 by 15 or 30 by 20 room, you know, converted garages, big basements, whatever they are. If you can smell somebody's cigarette smoke, you are being exposed to their COVID. There's no social distancing that is too great. I saw yesterday that the risk of going to the grocery store is a 3. That totally changed my opinion of going to the grocery store. And so, you know, I didn't do my Christmas grocery shopping today. I just ran out for cardamom pods and ran to pick up a few things that I need for this. Just make 2 quick stops. And normally I would have, all this time, I felt comfortable doing like I always do and going to my 3 or 4 grocery stores. There's Fairway and Whole Foods and Trader Joe's. And then if all else fails, there's Western Beef and Westside Market. So I've got a lot of grocery stores to choose from, and it's changed the way I feel about it. And not to say we're not going to take our very best and make Cooking with Quarantine go on, but we may do more wine episodes moving forward than cooking episodes, at least until we get through with this Michigas. So, cheers. Where are we? So I have in here, oops, wrong glasses, gotta change. I am so blind, it's just sad. So, my orange zest is not here. Okay, but what this needs, so I'm going to run out for an orange zest and get that in here. But this needs to steep on the vodka for 24 hours. Then in the morning, when we get up, we're going to strain all of this off, and we're going to add a bottle of red wine, a cup of ruby port or Madeira, whatever you have in the house, sugar, vanilla sugar, and this calls for almonds and raisins, but I'm just going to tell you, I don't care to eat my cocktails unless it's the mint out of a mojito. So I probably will not. I might add the almonds and let them steep for a little while. You all know, you may not know this, but raisins are in a second tier, only below bananas and coconut in my world of foods I hate. Hello, Mick. How are you? I just saw you over there with these glasses on. So then tomorrow what we'll do is we'll strain all this stuff off the vodka that I'm about to pour in here, and mix it in with a bottle of wine, a cup of ruby port, and the other sweetening stuff. Some sugar, the vanilla sugar, and I think it's if anybody hasn't been to the liquor store yet for the holidays, I highly recommend this. This stuff, when it's good, it is great. My family thinks I'm crazy that I love it. And you may wonder, did I say this? Why is Alyssa making Glogg? So in my family, I believe I'm speaking the truth when I say that every one of my ancestors in my direct line were here. That family line was here before the revolution. And except for one, and that is my Swedish ancestors who came here in the late 1800s. I can't find the half cup, so, oh, there it is. And so I, of course, identify most strongly with my Swedish heritage, and I presume that that's why when I get off the train in Malmo, people come up to me and start asking for directions in Swedish. So, I mean, really, I did not know how Swedish I was until I actually went to Sweden. And the first time I got to Sweden, I didn't really appreciate that where I was so close to where my family was from. And so if you know where Copenhagen is, and there's the train that goes across to Malmo. But then here, just up, if you think going to Christiana and crossing over, there's 3 or 4 little islands, and that's where we're from. So literally, we had to go to Malmo to do our, on market days. So here's this, sans the orange zest. So I will get that in there. So that's all really I'm doing today, right? I got to get some orange zest in there. You always want to cover your alcohol because it will evaporate. Thank you for giving me that word, brain. And so then tomorrow, so now the vanilla sugar is going to have plenty of time to sit here and become more vanilla-y. And I think it's going to be great. So I am going to do a little show in the morning if anybody is laying around and trying to kill time before they watch Wonder Woman 1984, which I cannot wait for, just between you and me. If it drops at midnight, I might watch it from midnight to 2 a.m. So that's all, guys. I know it's a melancholy Christmas. But play some jazz, dance a little bit. Maybe we should all dance to Single Ladies in the morning. All those of us who are home alone. And that's about all, just find something to be thankful for. Remember I told you there's this little thing that I found, and I'd love it if we all could it could be our January practice to get some exercise and drink plenty of water and laugh and dance and that kind of thing. So, really your exercise could be dancing. And we're going to have to do a lot to find joy. And I don't ever like to end on a sour note, but I'm afraid there are going to be so many people who flout the rules and gather together inside with closed windows and closed doors and mixed pods. It's making me really almost sick and sad to think about it, because I'm afraid we're going to see 5,000 deaths a day by Valentine's Day, and that is going to be horrifying. So guys, please, I beg of you, be safe. There is literally at the Christmas season no better time to love your neighbor, and this Christmas there's no better way to show your neighbor that you love them and to stay away and wear a mask. I'll be a little more upbeat tomorrow, I promise. I'll have mushroom soup and be making little individual beef Wellingtons. So I'm very excited about that. And if you want to make along, you certainly can. And it just occurred to me, I've got some Brussels sprouts in the fridge, and I think I'm going to make some kind of super duper cheesy creamy potatoes too. So let me go write myself a note while I tell you all thank you so much for being here. I love you. You know, you sustain me. You give me a reason to get up and put a little makeup on every day. Mwah. So yeah, love you guys. Ciao. Happy holidays to you all.